Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name's Jordy, and this is Sandy. Um, we're here to talk about the Libra Full Moon, which is going to be April 1st at 11:11 p.m. Halifax Standard Time, which is kind of cool. 11111. Lots of ones.
Very exciting.
It's in Aries season, which is the first zodiac sign, which is also a one. And we were just chatting about what this full moon could be talking about before we started recording, and it seems to be all about relationships, relationships with love, with family. So this is what this video is going to be talking about today, and we're going to pull some tarot cards, ask some questions about the astrology that's posed by this full moon in Libra. And of course, we also take it a step further with our Moon Mapping Academy on School. So if you find this video resonates with you and you want to keep going with this full moon and Libra vibes, there's going to be links in the description box of this video, and we're going to talk more about our upcoming moon circle on Wednesday night. And hope you stay tuned.
All right. I'm going to show the chart just to explain to you guys a little bit about what this full moon looks like. So right here in the middle is Earth, and over here is the moon in Libra. So we're having the full moon in Libra, and Libra is all about relationships and marriage, but not just limited to romantic relationships, but also personal friendships, business relationships. But in this particular moment, the moon is square Jupiter in the sign that represents family. So there could be relationships within our family that are being triggered right now and making us think about how we show up in those relationships. And then because this is a full moon, the sun is completely opposite at the same degree in the opposite sign, which is Aries. We all know we're in Aries right now. And Aries is all about the self. It's about number one. That should be us in every situation. And so with this full moon, I feel like it is making us see how we're showing up in those relationships and how we want our relationships to look like and where we're willing to compromise and where we're not. And it's pretty easy to figure out where we're not willing to compromise, even though we might be currently, but it feels yucky. It feels like we're not seen and that we're not cared for. And everybody needs that in every relationship. It's not about giving all of yourself and giving it all to those relationships. It's about a balance, a give and take, which is also what Libra is all about. So this is a really interesting moon. And then we also want to look at Venus, because Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus represents our love language and how we want to be loved and how we typically show our love. And Libra just moved into Taurus today. And Taurus is a lovely place for Venus because Venus rules two signs, not just Libra, but also Taurus. So Libra is very comfortable in those two signs. And with it in Taurus, it's about loving the beauty of what goes into making things like craft. It's very traditional. So antiques are involved in Taurus, and it's like when it comes to loving a person, it's usually like the boy next door. It's the down to earth, the just being able to enjoy beauty for what it is without pimping it up, if that makes sense.
Oh, I love that. Loving the boy next door.
Yeah. And when you have somebody who has their Venus in Taurus, like they're devoted, they love you for who you are, what you look like. They probably prefer the people without the makeup and being all dolled up. Like they want the authenticity. And so this is about showing up in those relationships
Authentically.
right? And being loved for who we are. And maybe we're feeling like that's kind of worn out in the relationships that we've had or are in and want to make changes there. So,
Yeah.
and it's about self-love. It's about really loving yourself for your own true authentic self, right? And once you can do that, then you'll find that person who can do that for you too. Because once you realize what you need, what you're willing to stand up for, and what you're willing to put up with and what you're not, then things become easier to find when it comes to relationships, I think.
Do you think we should do some relationship card pulls?
Mm-hmm.
We could look at family, we could look at love, we could look at friends,
Yeah.
see what kind of advice we get and how it relates to the astrology.
Love it.
Do you want us, what should we start with? Family?
Sure.
Okay. Advice for all of our viewers with this Libra full moon, extra Venus energy around family. Oh, cool. I've got the Fool,
Oh, nice.
which is Aries energy.
So I got the Six of Pentacles.
Wow.
Because we're talking about family, I feel like maybe right now some of us are giving more of ourselves to our family in order to support them and to help them.
That's true. I also feel with this Fool, like advice around family and relationships this time is that it's a good time to take initiative, start new things with family, start a new tradition, and bring some new energy and trust into the relationships. We have to create opportunities for trust. We have to create opportunities for fun. And, that might be in conflict with some of the, financial constraints within family relationships with that Six of Pentacles or, you know, um, I also get from this too, like there could be new energy coming into your life that like new relationships that have like a freshness to them. The potential to uh, devote yourself to new people, welcome them into your family kind of thing, our soul family. Pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, I like that, Jordy. And sometimes we have a hard time doing that in relationships. Like when we're first starting out and dating and we feel uncomfortable being our own authentic self and showing people who we really are. And that Fool card just makes it like it's okay to do that. It's okay to laugh at ourselves. It might be a
Yeah.
little uncomfortable, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any better part of a relationship than the beginning, that romantic part, and that's what Libra's all about, is romance.
I mean, we were pulling about family, but it does feel kind of romantic.
Yeah.
I also think that the Fool represents children in family.
Yeah.
And focusing on those dynamics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe reaching out to your kids or bringing a new focus to children. If there's younger kids in the family kind of thing, like plan a gathering to be around those fresh little ideas and attitudes that they've got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Venus is square Pluto too over here in Aquarius, and Aquarius is very much about giving of the self, which is what this card is about. But it is a square, so there's like some friction there. There's something to be learned in this full moon when it comes to love. So if you did show up at the moon circle Wednesday evening, we can actually be more specific about what relationships that you are being triggered with this full moon, because where it's showing up in your chart will point to those type of relationships. So I know for me, this Libra full moon is probably actually happening in my house that represents relationships and marriage.
Wow.
And but then you would look at also where that would point to other areas in our chart. So it could point towards children or families specifically. It's interesting. And it can also tell you if this is really about the relationship with yourself, if it ends up being in that first house, right? It can show us if we're giving too much of ourselves and not enough attention, or maybe we need to be focused more on those other relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Because relationships are all quite unique, you know, and some relationships might be working really well, some might not be working that well. So it would be good to get a more specific look into where that would be affecting us in our own charts.
Yeah.
But I would say overall, though, with the family energy and this Fool card, it's, you know, there's new opportunity to kind of bring new energy to these family dynamics, and obviously it's an imbalance with, you know, the giving and the receiving.
And isn't the Fool associated with Aries too? Because Aries is the first line, the Fool is the first line of the card, right? So I get what you're saying. Like what I'm picking up is that it's maybe time to let go of that the way that the relationship was and start new if it's that important, right? New for new beginnings, not just a brand new relationship, but in your own relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
Let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, and that can come with boundaries. That can come with, you know, deciding to give a little bit less in one area, but maybe it doesn't mean cutting off giving altogether, though. I think there's opportunity to, like, with the right balance of that Six of Pentacles, bring new energy into these relationships.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because when family calls, first thing we want to do is help, but sometimes we're overextending ourselves and depleting ourselves. And so, yeah, this energy could actually help us figure out where we need to set boundaries and where we're willing to give.
Yeah. Well, should we look at love relationships now?
Sure.
Okay. Well, a lot of people on YouTube love the love stuff.
Oh yeah. What we're all looking for.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of energy does this Libra full moon bring for romance? Uh-oh. We got some doozies.
I know, man.
Swords, Seven of Cups.
Full moon. Oh my gosh, she flipped out when I first started shuffling my decks before we picked what we were going to pull cards about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. This is a full moon, people. We are supposed to figure out these things that are kind of coming up out of the dark.
It's true. There could be a lot of anxiety with this Eight of Swords and negative thoughts coming up around romance.
Yeah, like, are you okay? Let's get real for a second. Like, are you guys out there feeling like your relationships are not what you hope they would be.
Yeah.
A lot of times when Libra energy is coming up in a chart, it can show us if we are in a relationship because we feel like that's where we have to be. A lot of times, independence, right? A lot of people want to live on their own. They're quite happy working for themselves. They don't need a partner, but we're always getting slash or like feedback or stuff from our family because their expectations are for us to be married or to have children. So, and then a lot of times people get married because they feel like that's what's societally acceptable. And a lot of times those people tend to have very strong influences of Libra in their chart. So you're going to see that with this moon circle that we do Wednesday night. If you have planets in Aries or Libra or Aries that are being triggered by this full moon. And let me tell you, you do not have to be in a relationship for the rest of your life because you married them 20 years ago and it's not working for you now, right? It is all about you and you being happy. And if that person is just not showing up every day and there's not a give and take and no teamwork, then you don't have to live in misery for the rest of your life because you don't have that.
It's so true. Like this full moon can be about releasing
Mm-hmm.
that sense of entrapment. Oh, I can't do anything about this. I'm stuck. I'm tied to this person.
A
Well,
lot of people do that because they think they can't survive financially on their own,
yeah.
or because of the children. They stay together. So not only are they miserable, but the children are witnessing this, and that is a big thing that kind of keeps us in relationships sometimes. And it could be pets. It doesn't have to be children, right? And another thing too, like when we're in a relationship and we're not happy anymore, we have fear of like leaving that relationship because of the friendships that you share, and you feel like you're going to be judged, and you, and then you hold off on that because you're afraid of how other people are going to see you.
And I also feel with love and relationships with this Ace of Swords and Seven of Cups that you could be thinking about your love life, whether you're in a relationship or whether you're single, and what your current perspective on it could be limiting your potential. With the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of potential in that card, and this full moon in Libra, if things don't feel fair and balanced, which is very Libra, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then you may have to change your mindset on what is possible. Is it possible to have a fresh start within a relationship? Is it possible to move on from a relationship? You know, I think that this full moon is going to make some of us uncomfortable, and it's going to make some of us feel inspired, you know, with our relationships.
Yeah. And Libra is also like a sign that represents counseling and like even like a marriage counseling.
Right.
And so maybe that is something that you can consider too if you feel like there is hope for your relationship. Or maybe it's about having some serious conversations and asking for what you want in those
Yeah.
relationships and see if anything can change. Because
That's
maybe the other person doesn't know. That's what this is all about, right? Like maybe they don't know what it is that you need because you haven't told them,
I know
right?
both these cards are about being in your head.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's possible that our imagination can run wild with these cards and get us even more stuck. So, yeah, communication, counseling, um, reevaluating the situation, like the facts, like looking at the money, looking at the time and energy spent, especially if you're single too. Like if um if you're watching YouTube for love readings and you're thinking like I want to bring love into my life, then you got to look at what thoughts are holding you back from that too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so anyway, there's a lot of ways we could look at it, but it's really interesting.
But that's exactly what the full moons are about. It's about getting that stuff out of your head, right? Because it's not doing you any good out there.
No, it's not.
So, no. So, because this Libra full moon can like encourage you to find somebody that you can trust to talk about this stuff so that it's not bouncing around in your head and you can have somebody to reflect. They don't even need to talk to you, but you just need that outlet to figure things out. Or you can do it through writing if you don't feel comfortable talking to somebody, or just talking to yourself, talking to the dog. But this time with the full moon is encouraging you to process that, so you're not moving on through life continuing to carry that.
Wow, that's really good. It. I think this Venus in Taurus energy that you were talking about earlier, and then the Pluto square with this energy as well. Like, um, it is an opportunity to bring that grounded, earthy energy into our relationships. To get us out of,
Yeah.
like I think that it's uncomfortable, but it's going to challenge us to get more practical, maybe, or something like that, grounded with
Yeah.
what we're thinking about with our relationships. Yeah.
And this Pluto down here too in Aquarius, though it does have a square aspect to Venus, it has these very positive aspects to the moon in Libra.
Oh yeah.
So not all hope is lost. Like there is um opportunity for positivity to come out of this. It just depends on the actions that you take,
Yeah.
how you plan to proceed with it.
Alrighty. Well, should we pull some cards for friendships?
Yeah,
That could be our last card pull.
sounds good.
Connecting for our viewers for advice on friendships during this Libra full moon. Oh, I got the Two of Swords reversed,
Oh, nice.
which is a Libra energy.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
I was showing Jordy my new deck before we started, and I pulled the Two of Swords to show him as an example.
Yeah.
And in my deck, it's two guys fighting over the girl with the blindfold with swords. So maybe there's a bit of a love triangle in some of your people's lives right now that you're trying to figure out.
Oh my gosh.
But we're talking about friends, but it can be friends, right? It could be a friendship with three people, and there could be.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says on this card for the reversal, no right choice, information overload, indecision.
Huh.
And yeah, I don't know what to say about this card just yet. What card did you get, Sandy?
Well, I have the world.
Okay.
So I feel like that's positive.
It is positive. Yeah.
Maybe there's an opportunity in all this to create a new friendship. And then this one, the Empress.
Mm.
See this one with the babies?
Yeah, nice. I usually think of the Two of Swords reversed as when we're talking about friendships, like you may have been at odds with a friend. You may have been um, either blocking a friend or just having arguments, not on the same page. And with this card being reversed, it could be that there can be some confusion around that because maybe the energy is getting more positive again in the relationship, but you didn't get a chance to talk about or deal with what the issue was when it was happening. Because you've got those positive cards coming through.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that can be confusing. Like maybe this full moon in Libra is benefiting friendships, but the previous moon or the previous astrology has really taken a hit on friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it comes down to that communication again, just being open to to expressing how you feel in those relationships, because maybe it's unclear how the other person feels, or you're assuming things. And because the last card that I pulled was the Queen of Swords, like I don't know why I got three, but I did. So I think the Queen of Swords is just in order to have these outcomes of the Empress in the world is to ask those questions
Yeah.
for clarity and not get stuck in your head.
Where does you mentioned earlier that friendships are kind of part of the Libra relationship umbrella.
Well, we do have this Pluto in Aquarius, and Aquarius is a sign that represents friendships.
Okay.
And it's making a positive aspect to the moon in Libra. So Libra is usually associated with two because it's a partnership or a marriage, but it could be a friendship. It doesn't have to be limited to romance.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because it does kind of go with what we were saying. Like, there's positive energy in friendships right now, but it's almost like we still need to talk some stuff out.
Yeah.
You know?
So Pluto is okay. Pluto's in the sign of friendship. It's pointed to the moon in the Libra, which represents relationships. Then it's pointing back to Venus, the planet of love, in Taurus. So Taurus is also associated with money. Maybe there's something that's going on between you and a friend that involves money that you haven't had a conversation about. That could be putting a wedge in that friendship. But it also doesn't have to be money value. It could be like just finding your value or your worth in that relationship with that person, because maybe you're having insecurity about it.
Right. Honestly, when we start questioning or feeling confused about our value within friendships, it can fall apart really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Should we pull an overall advice just for this moon in general?
Sure.
I want to grab an oracle card.
Okay.
I'm going to go get my oracle deck. It's just on the table.
Sounds good. Please leave your comments if any of this resonates with you. It hits home. Um, but though it is kind of personal, but if you want to get more advice on it and you can't make it to the moon circle, just reach out and we'd be happy to give you more insight to help you through this hurdle.
Yeah, exactly.
We do offer mini one-on-one sessions regarding the moon as well. So let me just confirm the value of that. Majority shuffling.
I'm using the Dragon Oracle.
Nice.
Breathe some new fire into these relationships. Oh, here's one sticking out. Oh, this is perfect. Got the orange dragon
Nice.
and
Bring
the orange.
family.
It says on this card, bring soul families and communities together. Spread belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah. I get the sense that a lot of our relationships have been under stress. That's very human. And maybe this Libra full moon in general is just saying, like, spread that belonging and warmth and oneness, you know? And if you don't feel like you're getting that in some of your relationships, then there's other relationships out there that can fill in those gaps. It's soul families, communities.
Mm-hmm. And like with this polarity between the Libra and the Aries, I think it's about maybe not relying on other people to fulfill all those parts of us that are important to us as a person,
Right.
right? It's probably not possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you have to put those parts of you aside. Like maybe it's another person or another relationship that can fill that void, right? It doesn't have to be limited to one. And it doesn't have to not exist either.
Mm-hmm.
So 20-minute sessions with Sandy and Jordy to work on your moon, full moon in Libra is $24.99 American. And it's for 20 minutes. If you would rather do that than to meet in the moon circle. Just if you're not in the school, you can just message us in the comments and we'll reach out to you. And we'll figure something out.
Yes.
I didn't pull a card yet, Julie, for the end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
What does this mean?
What card? Oh, is that
That's the Ten of Swords.
Oh, dun, 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 dun. No. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's very direct and blunt. I think that some relationships are meant to end.
Yeah.
And this Libra full moon might just kind of
Make that happen.
Make that happen. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this is giving some people out there the validation that it's okay to end that relationship that they've been scared to do.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Sandy, for hanging out.
It was great.
Always fun to hang out.
Yeah.
We're gonna, if you were interested in that moon circle, the link is in the description box. You just head over to school and you'll find your way. School is free to join, so even if you didn't want to join the moon circle, I recommend you checking out the school platform, Moon Mapping Academy on School. We've got lots of good free stuff over there, and it's a great way to connect.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.